and today I will be the moderator. All right, so before we begin, I would like to share a few house rules. Firstly, we will start when all speakers are present. We have 6 speakers today. And please type in your question in the Q&A field below. I will summarize the questions for the speakers at the end of the presentations. So each institution or speaker will get 10 minutes today. And after this session, you will be redirected to our questionnaire. Please do spend some time to share your feedback. It will be very useful for us. And last but not least, this session is being video recorded. So by attending this session, you acknowledge that your image and comments may be recorded and rebroadcast. Okay, so all right, Industry 4.0. It's for some people, it's a buzzword. It's trending around the world. It's changing how we work and how we live. But what does the term exactly mean? And how are universities, corporations, and entrepreneurs adapting themselves to this rapidly changing technological advancement? And for us here who are watching the Zoom, most of us are students and young professionals. How should we prepare ourselves for the Industry 4.0 era? All right, so we are going to cover some of these topics today, and we are very excited and very honored to have 6 speakers, 6 distinguished speakers with us today. So I would like to introduce the speakers. So first, we are going to have Dr. Carl Driver, Industry 4.0 lead at the Manchester Metropolitan University. Secondly, Dr. Eric Liu, reader in project management, Department of Engineering, Manchester Metropolitan University. And thirdly, we're going to have Imran Hashim, Senior Liaison Manager for Southeast Asia, University of Warwick. Next, we have Bapak Paul Setiokartono, Chief Strategy Officer at Prudential Indonesia. And moving on from the universities and corporates, we are going to have Mbak Anantia van Bronckhorst, and she is the co-founder of ThinkWeb, a digital and impact agency. And last but not least, Mas Yoris Sebastian, the co-founder of Inspigo and a creative entrepreneur from Indonesia. So without further ado, let's start with the first presentation from Manchester Metropolitan University. Dr. Eric and Dr. Carl, the time is yours.
Good morning or good afternoon from Manchester. I'm just going to share my screen. So hopefully everyone can see. If I can get a thumbs up or a yes from someone. Yeah, great. Okay.
There we go.
So, morning, everyone. So yeah, I'm Carl Diver, the academic lead for Industry 4.0 at Manchester Metropolitan University. So it's a real pleasure to have this opportunity to speak to you all today.
My name is Dr. Eric Liu, and I'm a reader in project management in the Department of Engineering. My role predominantly is on the academic side. So with Carl together, he's academic lead on the technical side a bit more, myself on the program lead. So what we're trying to do is to blend something together for our students coming forward towards Industry 4. Okay, as for this morning, I'm going to do a short presentation. A quick introduction to the university, Manchester Metropolitan University. We are one of the largest universities in the UK to start with. I mean, we have a student population of about 32,000 students. Begin in comparison with Indonesia, the biggest university is Gajah with 50,000. So we are about 32,000. So we are ranked among the 3rd or 4th largest universities in the UK. Being a large university, most of our students are undergraduates, and it's about 80% of our students are undergraduates. So this presents a good opportunity for us to shape our industry. We have a huge alumni with about 290,000 alumni, and the key thing for us is employability. 93% of our students are employed or go into further education between the first 6 months. And with this kind of statistics is that we are ensured that whatever we're teaching, what we're presenting to the students are important. At the same time, is employers want what they have in the students. I think that's key. At the same time, is that we are investing more and more money into the university and also to the students. This includes the School of Digital Arts, the Poetry Library, Institute of Sports. And for the engineering side, we'll be having a brand new building for the Faculty of Science and Engineering. And at the moment right now, the design is student-led. So interiorly, it is student-led, which presents the opportunity for the architectural students, engineering students to work together towards what they can see is Industry 4 in the future for them. We are also ranked one of the best young universities in the UK and globally as well. So it is important for us is that hopefully our graduates can lead the future for us. So looking at numbers, so we said about 32,000, so about 3,000 students from internationally comes from international, over 144 countries. So basically we are a very metropolitan university. Manchester as a city itself, we host a large number of international students, and this is a good place to be. Personally, I've lived in Manchester for about 15 years. I've not left at the moment, so it's a good sign. It's an amazing place to be. So this picture illustrates what Manchester is as what we see it. If you look at the building on the right, the round building, that is our central library, Manchester Central Library. This is one of the first buildings to be digitized by the government about 10 years ago. Those who are into buildings will understand the term Building Information Modeling, called BIM. This is one of the first buildings, historical buildings, grade 1 in the UK, to be digitized, and that's very important to us. At the same time, if you look at the brown buildings on the left, this is called the Midland Hotels, what we know today. This is where history started. I'm sure everyone around the world knows the company called Rolls-Royce. This is the building where Mr. Rolls met Mr. Royce, if you believe it or not, okay? One is an engineer, an automotive engineer, one is entrepreneur. They both met at the Midland Hotel, and they both brought their ideas together. And in Manchester itself, they brought the company together. So historically, Manchester is one of the best cities in look at collaboration. Industry 4.0, as Carl will describe later on, is all about how we collaborate, understand each other's strength, and how we're going to bring forward to. Okay, so I'll pass over to Carl to give you more details on the technical side of Industry 4.
Okay, thank you, Eric. So that was a great introduction to Manchester. So I'm just not going to dwell on this too much because some of the other speakers will delve into this. But we're currently living in the fourth industrial revolution, or Industry 4.0. And we had the first industrial revolution, and it started here in Manchester back in the mid-1700s, where we started to see steam power coming into use. And it was really, and each stage where we see this, it's really, we're seeing improvements in efficiencies and how we do things. Then we had the second industrial revolution around the 1870s, where we started to see electrification coming into play. Many people kind of think that it might have been like the Ford Motor Company, those kind of automated production lines. But the first one was a slaughterhouse in Cincinnati in the US, actually. So quite a grim place. But again, it's that productivity and improving in efficiencies and how we do things. Then in the late 1960s, we started to see numerical control come into the shop floor, where we started using computing power to control machines. But we're living in the fourth industrial revolution, and my screenshot's not working, but I'm holding up a mobile phone here. So we've all got smart technologies. It's all about connectivity, having more access to data in real time, and then using artificial intelligence, data analytics to be able to make smart decisions in time, again, for process improvements and efficiencies. And all of this helps remove waste in the system, as well as how we're doing things. So why is this important? So there's some key stats here. I'm not going to go through them all, but what we're seeing is that Industry 4 could add $14.2 trillion to the global economy by 2030. Here in the UK, we've had the Made Smarter review that kind of went back to government, trying to inform the industrial policy that we were having here in the UK. They see that Industry 4 could increase productivity by about 25%. And what we've seen coming out of that, there's been a pilot launched in the Northwest, based in Manchester, called the Made Smarter Northwest pilot, where they're investing £20 million to help small companies adopt digital technologies and start the journey towards Industry 4.0. And I sit on that review panel, and it's really interesting to see what's coming through from the companies in the region and how they're starting to digitalize and bring Industry 4 technology in. And that's raising opportunities then for our students coming out to have jobs with those companies. And it's something we're trying to do at Manchester Met, is that link between industry and academia, and understanding what academia's needs are and how we can then improve our courses and make sure we're teaching the kind of skill sets and know-how that industry is looking for. There are international opportunities as well. So globally, people are seeing that there's a skills gap and there's a need for people with the Industry 4 or digital skill sets. And I know that in Indonesia, you've got your Making Indonesia 4.0 initiative as well, focusing very much on 5 key areas: food and drink, automotive, textile, electronics, and chemicals. And in the region as well, we're seeing many countries having their own initiatives. In Singapore, Malaysia, China has Made in China 2025. So globally, we're seeing that governments are recognizing this, industries recognizing this, universities are recognizing this, and students are also looking for courses that are offering these skill sets. So from Manchester Metropolitan University's point of view, we see ourselves as bridging that Industry 4 skills gap, really having those conversations with industry around what their needs are and how we can facilitate that and work together in collaboration. And that's what it's all about, really. And our faculty in science and engineering has adopted Industry 4.0 as a key strategy for the university moving forwards. Some of you may have heard this. There are 9 pillars of Industry 4.0, and I'm not going to read through them all, but more recently, I think I came across 17 pillars of Industry 4.0, so there's no way I was going to get all of that on one slide. So, but it gives you a flavor of the kind of areas, the key themes that are linked to Industry 4. And across the university, we've got different facilities, centers and research centers that tie in and teach that type of technology or use that type of technology in their research. So you'll see we've got Print City, which is a 3D printing facility. We've got over 60 3D printers in that lab. And it's not really a lab, actually. It's more kind of an innovative space that's open for people and students from any background and open to industry. 8 different printing technologies in there. And more recently, we've just won £3.6 million in funding to establish a Print City network focused on helping SMEs or companies in the region to adopt additive manufacturing. So we'll see another £800,000 to £900,000 investment in new printing equipment in that facility. We have a cyber foundry, which is very much focused on cybersecurity. Again, that was around a £4 million funding to help companies in the region address cybersecurity issues. And it's bringing industry in, then our students meeting with industry, and those opportunities that come about from that. We have an advanced materials and surface engineering research center, again working closely with the additive manufacturing side of things. We have the Manchester Fashion Institute, which is an institute or is a sector that's really going through a lot of change at the moment, especially the textile sector, and digitalization and customization and personalization are all terms that you will start to hear about when we talk about Industry 4.0. And that's a sector that's really going through a lot of change now because of that. We have a crime and well-being big data center. And I think the key point here is that Industry 4 and digitalization doesn't just focus on kind of industry and engineering. It applies across many sectors, and that's something that we see across our university. And in my role, I work with members in the faculty of business and law, architecture, sociology, psychology, healthcare, and we're seeing the use of this technology in many different sectors. So there are opportunities for everyone, regardless of what your background or your specialism is. We've got the Manchester Fuel Cell Innovation Centre, another £6 million investment around clean technologies, renewables, very much focused on hydrogen technology. We have the Institute of Coding, based in our computer science department, again, looking at how do we develop the digital skills that companies will need in the future. And also the economic side of it. You can't do this without having an impact on the economy. So we tie in with our Future Economics Research Center as well. We bring all of these people together to see how digital technology and Industry 4.0 can have an impact going forwards. Here's a flavor of some of the companies that have worked with us and supported us in different initiatives over the last couple of years. You'll see many names that you might recognize from Bentley, who sit on our Industrial Advisory Board. They come in, they help us. We have discussions around what our courses should look like, the type of projects people can work on. So you're going from high-end cars to Procter & Gamble that produce diapers in the center of Manchester. And we've got students working on their production lines as well, looking at how we use digital technology to improve the processes. But there are other key stakeholders that we also work with. So the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce, which is one of the largest Chamber of Commerce in the UK. We've got over 8,000 company members, which are from an engineering and manufacturing background. So we work closely with them to try and reach some of those smaller companies. Midas is the inward investment agency in Manchester. So when companies come to visit Manchester, they tend to bring them in to the university to meet with the academics, to meet with the students, to look at what kind of projects and opportunities that exist. Siemens and Festo, which Eric will touch on later, are also companies that we work with. And Innovate UK is one of the UK's funding bodies that we work closely with as well around kind of funding mechanisms for research projects. So, you could come in to us, do your undergraduate degree, maybe move on to an MSc postgraduate, and maybe stay on to do a PhD with us. And some of that funding might come through organizations like the Innovate UK. And Innovate UK run a program called the Knowledge Transfer Partnerships. Manchester Metropolitan University has been really successful in this over the last, I think the program's been running nearly 40 years now. We're consistently in the top 5 in the UK. And what this is about is taking technology and research out of universities and embedding it into companies and organizations. And the way we do that is that the company works closely with the university, academic supervisors get involved, and then we hire a recent graduate to work on that specific project for the next kind of 2 to 3 years. So you could study with us, and then an opportunity like that comes along, fully funded, to work with a local company, to transfer maybe some of the technology that you were researching and embed that in the company. That's an impact of about 12.5 million in company turnover since 2014. Our current value of projects is around 6 million. And when we start looking at that portfolio of projects, I think it's at the moment around 35 projects. I think about 70% of those are related to Industry 4 in one form or another. But it's not just about the kind of the technical skills. We see organizations, and I see in the advisory board, people really talking about the soft skills and presentation skills and communication skills. So this is some imagery from the Industry 4 Summit that was held in Manchester Central, just behind the hotel that Eric mentioned where Rolls met Royce. And we had a dedicated stand for our students on one of our MSc programs. So they all had the opportunity to meet with industry professionals over 2 days. Ellen, one of our MSc students, was on the main stage on a panel discussion. They ran a student competition with a prize for the best project around Industry 4. I'm just going to play this, and it'll give a little flavor of what that show was like in scale. That was our Vice Chancellor, so we had and our Vice Chancellor for Research as well, so Pro Vice Chancellor for Research. So, key members from the university management and executive team are really behind Industry 4 and supporting what we're doing now. So it's a really exciting time to be at the university, working with new technologies. You'll see lots of creative stuff as well that we're doing around additive manufacturing. So it's not just engineering. There's textiles, there's art, there's opportunities for everyone in that sense. So I'll pass back to Eric now. You're on mute, Eric.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Carl. Just a very quick run through on what we're offering as an institution towards our portfolio of our postgraduate programs. I think it is important whereby students will undertake their undergraduate degrees and what can do postgraduate side. So we are within the engineering department in Manchester Met. What we're offering are 4 major programs, as we are known as. The first one is industrial digitization. This program is very unique, whereby they will accept anyone from any discipline. I repeat myself. They accept anyone from any discipline, whether you are being from law to textile to dental. We have students from all these 3 sectors coming into engineering and learning how to digitize the environment. This is especially important. We have already questions on how could they upskill and how could they do everything else to improve themselves. This is one program that you can help to digitize things around you. Industry 4 is about working together, interdisciplinary things that is very important. At the same time, on the left and right side, you get very technical programs, very specific programs. We look at mechanical smart systems. At the same time, on the right, you'll see the electronic smart systems. These both are very specialized programs where it looks into Industry 4 on both electronic and mechanical side. Right in the middle, you get engineering project management. This is where you get people to manage these programs. You can be as technical as you want, but if you can't manage a program well enough, it will fail. So good examples of engineering projects gone wrong are like the Boeing programs. Something went wrong. There's a lot of nuclear programs that went wrong because we have the technical expertise, but we don't know how to manage them. So if you look at all 4 right here, 2 are very interdisciplinary, 2 very technical. At the same time, within the 3 master's programs, the project management, electronic and mechanical, we also offer a 1-year optional placement with us. What it means is that when you finish your MSc program with us in 12 months, you'll spend the next 12 months in placement with a company with us in the UK. So these companies are available for students to choose from. However, we will support the students to get this kind of a placement. And this is a good opportunity for the students to finish the degree and then go into companies and see how their knowledge can be transferred into real skills. Okay. So how we do it this way is quite simple. We partner with lots of industries. So Siemens is one of them. So Siemens, as you know, is one of the world's largest engineering companies. We're connected to their connected curriculum together with Festo. So students will use Siemens software. Okay, opportunity to approach them as well. We also encourage our students to take professional programs with us. So Prince 2 Foundation, SolidWorks, those in engineering, doing CAD. We encourage students to do that. At the same time, we did mention in project management, we encourage our students to take the PFQ. So all these 3 are professionally accredited programs. At the same time, if you're into technical side, what we offer is the Profibus Profinet. You don't hear this much, but this is one of the only open programming languages for factories. So what it means is that any factories willing to go towards the smart factory will need to undertake this both in the Profinet and Profibus system. So we offer this in the universities as well. That's what Carl mentioned earlier. So students will also have access to Print City. So as long as you're a student within Manchester Met, you'll be able to access Print City, and you'll be working with all sorts of brands and technologies, which is located on the left-hand side, down 3D systems and all these printers and so on. And from the Autodesk side of it, your students will also be trained in Fusion 360. We're also a major partner of Autodesk, and students will also get exclusive access to some of their softwares and products as well. Okay.
Sorry, Eric.
Yes. Okay. I think we're being chased away. Okay. Sorry about that.
We'll get to chat more over the Q&A.
All right. Okay. Yep. Okay.
All
thanks
right.
very much. Thank you. No worries.
So thanks so much, Dr. Carl and Dr. Eric. I guess interdisciplinary is one of the key points that we shall discuss more in the Q&A. So let's hear more from Imran, University of Warwick. Yep, Imran, are you there?
Hello, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'll be sharing my screen, yeah?
Yes, okay. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Imran and I'm the Senior Liaison Manager for the University of Warwick. I represent the university here in Southeast Asia, and my job is basically to help any of the students in Indonesia or the other ASEAN countries who are interested to study at Warwick be able to do so. So I'm here to give advice and counseling. Now, I'd like to thank the British Council for inviting me this afternoon and to be part of this esteemed panel. I must say that I feel a bit like an imposter beside all these other academics who work in the field of engineering and technology, because I myself, I'm trained as a political scientist. But thankfully, when you do political science, what it does is it teaches you how to talk about anything and everything. So that's given me this courage to switch on my computer today and be here with you. Now, for today's presentation, I've decided to be very obedient and stick to the topic of the Industry 4.0, why it matters, but also talk about how UK universities are preparing students for the Industry 4.0. So these are the topics we'll be covering. I think just now, Dr. Carl Diver did a very good introduction to the question of what is Industry 4.0. Basically, it's industry, but within the context of the Industrial Revolution, the fourth Industrial Revolution. Now, industry itself, we can see that there are three types of industry. First, there's primary industry relating to agricultural and extractive industries. There's also the secondary industry, which is relating to manufacturing industries, and the tertiary industries, which is relating to service industries. So therefore, production of services rather than goods. Now, that tackles the industry part of what is Industry 4.0. But why do we even talk about the 4.0? That's because it refers to the four industrial revolutions. So as Dr. Carl Diver, he already spoke about the first industrial revolution, the second industrial revolution, the third, and the fourth industrial revolution, which is the information revolution that we're going through today. Now, with regards to this fourth industrial revolution, basically also known as the information revolution. Now, it was enabled by advances in semiconductor and integrated circuit chip, and of course, the invention of the internet. Now, the key feature of this fourth industrial revolution is also artificial intelligence, and we can see how this has affected the socioeconomic, the society around us, right? Society has been transformed, and some of the effects include the deepening globalization that we see, as well as more personalized services and products, but also how the consumer has become the product in some cases. For example, when you use free services, obviously like Google and Facebook, you are now the product, right? So what is Industry 4.0? Essentially, to summarize, it is the facet of the fourth industrial revolution that is concerned with how the information revolution impacts the world of industry, from agriculture and mining to manufacturing and services. All right, so why does it matter to students? And this is where Warwick has done some research into the impact of Industry 4.0. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you now some slides from Professor Peter Elias from the Institute of Employment Research. Now, the answer to why it's important to students is, simply put, economics. All right, specifically, Industry 4.0 matters to students because it will have an impact on the economics of labor markets, i.e. jobs and employment. Now, AI, employment change, and the quality of work. In this slide, I'm going to talk to you about how AI will be affecting employment in terms of the quality of work. For example, there has been much hype about the impact of AI on jobs and the well-being of workers. Right? So for example, some of the hype that has been talked about is like the fear of maybe mass layoffs. Will people suddenly find themselves out of a job because AI and robots have taken away your jobs? Now, so what happened was there was research done by a team of Warwick Institute of Employment Research, And this was done on behalf of the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development in the UK. And I'll be sharing some of the findings here. Now, under this study that was done by the Warwick Institute for Employment Research, one of the findings is that they surveyed companies, and they asked the companies, has the introduction of technology created any jobs in your organization? So has it created jobs? And the answer was 43% yes, but 44% of the companies replied that no, there were no new jobs that were created. Now, out of those that did create jobs, they were further asked, what kind of jobs were these? Were these highly skilled jobs? Were they intermediate skilled jobs or low skilled jobs? And as you can see from this slide, 39% of the jobs that were created were high skilled jobs. Now, the companies were also asked, has the introduction of the technology eliminated or replaced jobs, right? And for this one, the answer was that 40% of the companies reported having eliminated or replaced jobs, whilst 48% said no, that no jobs have been eliminated or replaced. But for those where there were jobs that were replaced or eliminated, again, the companies were asked, were they high skilled, intermediate skilled, or low skilled? And in this instance, we see that it is more of the low skilled jobs that were eliminated due to the introduction of AI. Now, another area that this research looked into was the impact of AI on job quality. Now, what did they find? Well, some of the key findings included the fact that staff needed more skills and knowledge in 3/5 or 60% of organizations that have introduced AI, right? And that it led to an increase in pay in 41% of organizations that introduced AI-enabled technology. Okay, and jobs became more scarce in more than 2/5 of the organizations, but less scarce in 18% of organizations introducing AI. Now, what does this all mean for you? I mean, in summary, what does this mean? The key takeaway from this is that while the introduction of AI into the workplace has not resulted in doomsday scenarios of mass unemployment, it may create new jobs which tend to be highly skilled or intermediate skilled, and may eliminate jobs which tend to be lower skilled. Now, in the majority of cases, organizations introducing AI do need staff who are more skilled and more knowledgeable, which sometimes lead to an increase in pay of staff. Now, and the question then becomes, where do you go to get yourself trained and to get more skills and knowledge to prepare yourself for this future? The answer, of course, is to go to the university, right? And how are the universities, how are the UK universities preparing students for Industry 4.0? Now, in the UK, where students are being prepared for Industry 4.0, and not just the STEM students, but also the non-STEM students. Now, let me explain why. For the STEM students, universities are exposing students to the specific technologies of Industry 4.0 to prepare them for the job market. Many UK universities are already being influenced by cognitive and cloud computing, the Internet of Things, and other trends that are imposed by the Industry 4.0. Specifically, for engineering and science programs, this is done via our curricula, where we are working towards technology-driven expectations from the industry for our students. We have also embraced a number of technological advances in theoretical and practical applications, such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, advanced materials, 3D printing, blockchain, 5G, and other technologies. While STEM students, of course, need to be exposed to these technologies, does this mean that non-STEM students are unaffected by Industry 4.0? Well, the answer is no, because even for non-STEM students, their lives will still be touched by Industry 4.0. In the UK, universities are creating an environment that encourages students to be comfortable with new and developing technologies so that they are used to keeping up with and adopting the latest technologies. This is done through innovation in terms of teaching tools and methods. Now, for example, at Warwick, we have been using a number of education tools and platforms to facilitate digital learning. For example, Moodle, OneFile, Zoom, and other such platforms. And now with the COVID-19 pandemic, even more so, we depend on remote learning and digital assessments, which have been put in place at the university level. Now, we are not using technology just for the sake of using technology's sake. We're doing so because using this technology brings about benefits for the students, right? And these benefits are personalized education, for example, through learning activities, assessments, assessment tasks, all of which are intended for learning outcomes that are adapted to meet the needs of the individual student. This results from the use of learning analytics data and from the reflective practice by the students and the lecturers. All this also allows the students to study and learn at their own pace. And so it facilitates their learning process. Now, in the next part of my presentation, I'm going to tell you what are some of the courses that you would be able to take up at the University of Warwick in order to get yourself prepared for Industry 4.0. Sorry, next. Right. So I'm just going to explore with you 4 different courses, 2 of them at bachelor's degree level and 2 of them at master's degree level. Now, for the bachelor's degree level, the first one that I'd like to talk about is our BSc Data Science, Bachelor of Science in Data Science. Now, data science questions how to make sense of the vast volumes of data generated daily in modern life, from social networks to scientific research and finance, right? So it then suggests sophisticated computing techniques that are used for processing and analyzing this deluge of information. So for example, when you study data science, modules include programming for computer scientists, algorithms, database systems, software engineering, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Now, this course would be suitable for those interested in working at the forefront of the modern data revolution. Another course for bachelor students who are interested to do a bachelor's, would be a Bachelor's of Science in Cybersecurity. And we are one of the few universities in the UK that does offer this as a Bachelor of Science course. Now, this degree combines theory and practice with a strong technical focus to develop your understanding of how cyber systems are intended to function and how they might be abused. Now, our BSc is provisionally certified by the National Cybersecurity Center, or NCSC, at GCHQ. Warwick is also recognized by the NCSC as a Center of Excellence for Cybersecurity Research.
Hi, Imran. So sorry. I think time's up, but we can discuss later more at the Q&A.
Okay, so I'll just breeze through the other 2 courses, then I'll just name them. So other than Bachelor's in Cybersecurity, we have our Master's in E-Business Management, if anybody is interested, as well as Urban Analytics and Visualization, where we use smart cities data, where we use data analysis to look at how it impacts cities and urban infrastructures. Right. So my conclusion for today, to speed things up, is come to the UK to make sure you're ready for Industry 4.0. Thank you.
Thank you, Imran. All right, so we've listened to 2 presentations from 2 prestigious universities in the UK, and we've seen how they're addressing the industrial skill gaps and also stepping up technological innovation and research and also in terms of using different educational tools at the university. So now let's hear from the corporate side. We have Pak Paul from Prudential with us, who will share how Industry 4.0 is transforming the Prudential Corporation. Pak Paul, the time is yours. Thank you.
Are you be able to see my screen now?
Yes, very clear.
Okay, so I think it's very nice presentation from the first two session from three speakers. I think my presentation are slightly different than the first few presentation because the presentation was for I think mainly more academics and more on the high level. What I will try to present now is what is the implementation in the corporate world. I mean, how we hear about AI, 3D printing, cloud computing, and all those stuffs, robotic, how that it relates and it matters toward our day-to-day life. So firstly, I would like to introduce my company. My company is a Prudential Life Assurance Indonesia. Is #1 life insurance in Indonesia. It was established in 1848 in UK, and now is a part of Fortune 500 company, ranked number 50 in its number 5, ranked number 50 in Fortune 500. I think in Asia, Prudential exists in many countries, and most of the countries that we exist we are in the top 3 rank in the countries that we exist in Asia. So that's but a company. I think joined less than 1 year in Prudential. By education, I was an actuary and also in a job as in the insurance company. Actually, my first major was in architect, but I took the second major in actuarial science. So in the insurance company, I work as an actuary. Then in the next few years after my career, I became the senior actuary, chief actuary, and later on become the CFO. And now I join into the new venture into the chief strategy officer role, which basically not only in the finance, but also looking after at the business and how I also lead the team of the data analysts and how we can do and we can accelerate the industry 4.0. I will start my presentation with what is industry 4.0. I think the first few presenter already rightfully said that it's began in UK in 1784 with the founding of the steam machine, which can make everything by machine. So you can automate the basic stuff of doing the industry. I think that was the first industry revolution. And then second industry revolution was in 1870, whereby you can create the assembly line, you can create the manufacturing. So you create like a car manufacturing in parts, and then you assemble using the assembly line. So it will fasten the production. And also the founding of the electricity, which make it everything faster and more transferable. Then the industry 3.0 or the third industry revolution is with the with the founding of the semiconductor and the microchip. So everything is computerized. And now today is Industry 4.0. We know it's all with the connectivity, cloud, and all those stuff. Now the next slide is I will discuss what are the Industry 4.0. I know this is not all, but I would like to introduce one by one and give you a brief of what it is. One is connectivity. It's one of the main part of the Industry 4.0. I think everybody now enjoy the connectivity that we have through internet and all the stuff. Even when my daughter is 11 years old, when I asked my daughter on what is the thing that everybody needs the most, and then she said Wi-Fi. Yeah, I'm quite fascinated. I thought she will answer like the water company or electricity company, but it's not. It's Wi-Fi. So connectivity is one of the most important things today. And then, of course, the founding of big data. Big data are everywhere. So now the Industry 4.0, we are overwhelmed with big data, but the important thing is how we will have tools on to make the big data into an insight. One of the insight that we currently have is, of course, from Google. Google is one of the source of the data. So you can, for example, I think one of the example that I very happy to share is if you are a marketing manager in a gym, for example, then you would like to know when is people looking for a gym membership. You can check in Google and Google Trend. You see that when is the most number of hit when people search for gym membership. And then the data shows is usually in December and January. Why? Because usually people in December and January are creating like New Year resolution. They want to get fit, they want to get slim. So they look for a gym membership. So if you are a gym marketing manager, then you want to get ahead of your competitor. So you create a promo in December and January. It's as simple as that. I mean, it started from the simple to a most complex one, like you predict on COVID-19 when it's going to end, how many people will going to sick and all those stuff. And then sensors. What are the sensors signifies? I think now even our cell phones are complete with sensors. They're gyroscope, GPS, and all those things. Even there are some research that can put the sensors in your in a tablet that you can drink the tablet or capsule, and then it will detect all your movement inside your body. So if you imagine one of the medical term, if you do endoscopy, so in the near future you don't need endoscopy anymore. So you don't need to swallow something big and with a cable just to make sure that there is nothing wrong in your body. You can just eat the pills and it will read all the sensors in your body. Then robotic. What is robotic? Robotic is basically how we automate things without the involvement of human. So meaning it's not only in the industry and assembly line, but also from day-to-day life. For example, that now you can program in your cell phones that every morning I would like to see the movement of the stock exchange in other part of the world. So I ask my cell phone to collect the data about the closing. We are in Indonesia, so the closing of the stock market in London and in New York. will show to me, and what are the news in the big exchange in the world. So I can start the day with trading stocks. I think that's one of the easy example. Then what will change in the next few years is also 3D printing. Why 3D printing is big? Because it can simplify some few things and make it very cheap. You know, because my mother is a dentist, you know, one of the most expensive costs if you go to a dentist is if you create a prosthetic. I mean, you create the fake teeth for the older elderly people, and that is very expensive because you need the specialist to craft the tools to suit your needs. But I mean, in the next few years, I think with the 3D printing, you can easily take a 3D picture of your jaws, looking at the missing tooth, and you can directly print that prosthetic and fit it in your mouth, and that will cost very cheap. Of course, the last one present here, but it's not all. It's also mobility. Now the most advanced phone that you can find in the market is the processor is equal to the mainframe of 5 years ago. So meaning that's how the power of the processor itself. So that also changed the world. Now you don't need a mainframe or big computers. Everything is mobile. You can work anywhere. You can work at home as current, and it will be done through mobile. Okay, this is a bit of joke on the Industry 4.0. Today we have COVID-19, so we can do social distancing. We can do stay at home with Zoom, like what we currently doing, video conference, so we can fully, I don't feel full, but we can do 90% of our job online, except meeting person, handshake, do entertainment, dinner. Other than that, we can do perfectly fine because of the connectivity. Imagine if the lockdown happens in 2002 because of SARS, then we only end up with text message and phone. And the text message and phone will cost you a fortune. Slightly go back, Spanish flu, 1918. Then you hook up your connectivity with cable phone, which costs very expensive and only one-to-one, and it's hard work. You don't get the real data, or you don't know what are your relatives doing very soon. Not even you cannot work anything because there was no laptop found. So basically, the lockdown, if it happens in 1918, is basically you just sleep at home. The last one, what if we currently is in yellow fever, which is in 1793, then you will end up with Morse code, Morse machine. So to transmit data, to transmit information, to do webinar like this, you need to type in the Morse code. And that if the electricity has been found. If the electricity hasn't been found, then you need to do communication with smoke signal or those kind of communication. Okay, so now I will tell a bit on what is the Industry 4.0 in insurance. What is the current state? The current state now, the data is available everywhere, so we can make we can question the information about our customer ourselves, and we can also partner with partners like hotels, grocery store, medical center. So we know of the people, what are their demographic, their spending behavior, their health, their everything. So we can offer the best products, best investment, and the features of the product and convenience of payment. So we know that if someone just getting married and have one child, then it is the time when we are offering an insurance. So I think it's already happening now, but I would say that in the next few years, it will be improved very fast. You know that also in the not only in the sales area, but it also happens in the finance and accounting area. You know that the demand is also increasing in finance and accounting area. I think before even the current accounting financial report, if you create a financial report for the company, you are being asked by the management to create the granularity of creating the profit and loss by group of products. But
sorry, Papa.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
Shall we discuss more in the Q&A?
Yeah, but 1 minute more, okay? Okay, so that is the things now is we are expecting to create the profit and loss by every policy. So we need to discuss on the behavior of each of the policy. And I think we are not very close. We are not very far from the future state, which is we can do auto claim payment, meaning that if someone dies, then it is registered into registry office. We can be notified and directly we pay the claim. That's already happening in the travel insurance, whereby if someone get a flight delay, you already know in an instant because there is a flight radar, and you can pay the claim in an instant without the insured filing a claim. Then also the pay as you use insurance, meaning that you only pay insurance if you use. That can be tied up in the GPS in the car. So you only pay the car insurance whenever you start the engine of the car. So that will be the future state that is, I think, in the near future. I think these are the end of my presentation.
Okay. Thank you very much, Paul. So let's proceed to Mas Yoris Sebastian. And the starting point is that technology complements rather than replaces humans. And in fact, in Industry 4.0, some unique human traits or soft skills are even more important than ever. So, Mas Yoris, the time is yours. Thank you.
Tes.
Yep, we can
Okay.
hear you.
Yeah. As per request from British Council, I will present in Bahasa, but I will give the summary in English. So my name is Yoris Sebastian. I'm a creative consultant. I do a lot of interesting and creative project. One of it, salah satunya itu adalah Semen Indonesia yang sebenarnya perusahaan komoditi ya, tapi ternyata bisa banyak hal yang bisa kita bikin kreatif. Saya juga merupakan seorang public speaker, walaupun sekarang berubah menjadi menjadi pembicara online, dan saya juga merupakan seorang penulis buku.
Halo, Mas Yoris.
Slide-nya nggak bisa dimaju bentar.
Oke.
Ya, kalau enggak, saya ngobrol aja ya. Ini
Siap, Mas.
slide-nya nggak bisa maju, dan mungkin kalau dilihat dari kegiatan saya, yang saya lakukan sebenarnya hanya mengejar ikigai saya. Ikigai merupakan 4 pertanyaan yang harus kita jawab. Saya menemukan ini pada saat saya dulu ke Jepang, di saat waktu itu belum ada buku berbahasa Inggris ataupun Jepang tentang ikigai. Yang pertama yang harus kita jawab adalah apa kekuatan kita. Yang kedua, apa yang kita suka. Yang ketiga, dunia membutuhkannya. Dan yang keempat, pekerjaan itu akan menghasilkan uang sesuai yang membuat kita bahagia. Nah, 3 pekerjaan ini sebagai konsultan, sebagai public speaker, dan juga sebagai author, itu benar-benar membuat saya bahagia. It's the reasons to wake up untuk saya. Dan selanjutnya kita ngomong industri revolusi yang keempat. Tadi udah banyak speaker yang lain juga memberikan gambaran. Ya, memang seperti itu. Kita akan terjadi, dan sekarang sudah memasuki era I4 gitu ya, industri revolusi yang keempat, di mana kita memang akan bersama dengan advanced robot dan lain sebagainya untuk bekerja. Yang menarik pada saat kita melihat dulu Garry Kasparov dikalahkan oleh superkomputer, dari situ kita melihat berbagai analisa bahwa bahkan seorang pecatur yang, nah ini bisa nih, bahkan seorang pemain catur, nah ini kalau udah bisa pakai saya aja nggak apa-apa. Nah, bahkan seorang pecatur pada saat dia sudah menghafalkan jutaan atau ribuan taktik, itu bisa di-copy oleh komputer, tapi sebenarnya yang harus kita lakukan di era I4 ini adalah human focus on strategy. Kenapa? Strategi itu bisa berubah-berubah. Soft skill akan sangat diperlukan, selain tentunya technical skill. Robot nggak bisa kreatif. Kita bisa lihat di World Economic Forum disampaikan skills yang dibutuhkan di tahun 2020 dan seterusnya, creativity itu naik ke peringkat 3. Kenapa? Karena robot bisa diprogram. Advanced robot bisa dibikin untuk menggantikan beberapa pekerjaan manusia yang sangat clerical. Tapi complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity itu tidak bisa diambil alih oleh robot. Dan ini yang menarik, saya dari dulu berada di industri kreatif, dan saya belajar tahu ada industri kreatif itu dari Inggris. Kenapa? Karena highly creative jobs itu menurut riset yang dilakukan di Inggris dari Nesta, itu pekerjaan yang paling sulit digantikan oleh robot. Sehingga kalau nanti kita misalnya berhasil bisa kuliah di Inggris dan bisa mempelajari tentang industri kreatif, itu akan sangat menarik. Saya sendiri dulu sempat ikut program British Council, 2 minggu tinggal di London dan Manchester, belajar langsung dari para pelaku industri kreatif. Makanya saya sekarang menjadi local creative planner gitu ya, ngobrol dengan mereka, dan dari situlah sebenarnya saya lahir ide untuk mendirikan OMG Consulting. Tadinya saya pikir saya kerja 14 tahun di Hard Rock Cafe, saya hanya akan bekerja di saya keluar dari Hard Rock akan bikin restoran tandingan. Ternyata tidak. Kita harus memikirkan sesuatu yang sifatnya idea, bukan hanya membuat sesuatu yang fisikal seperti membuat kafe. Di Inggris saya belajar bahwa people with ideas is more powerful than people with machine. Saya berkenalan dengan nama Simon Fuller, walaupun baru ketemu later on di Bali di APMF, tapi orang ini luar biasa. Kalau ada yang lupa siapa dia namanya Simon Fuller ini adalah kreator dari Idle program yang namanya selalu nongol di awal program di seluruh dunia. Setiap bangun Simon Cowell, duitnya nambah. Dari berbagai Idle program. Dia hanya membuat satu program dan itu diduplikasi, ini namanya intellectual property, dan itu luar biasa. Dia tidak punya stasiun televisi, dia tidak punya production company yang besar, dia punya adalah production of ideas. Dan buat saya, kalau sampai teman-teman di sini beruntung nanti bisa belajar di Inggris gitu ya, jangan hanya sekolah di sana. Saya punya contoh, saya sebagai owner, saya sebagai local and creative planner, saya punya beberapa karyawan, salah satunya di Lamran, fresh graduate waktu itu dari S2 di Inggris, dia balik ke Indonesia, kerja bersama saya sebagai project manager, naik sampai terakhir menjadi managing partner di OMG. Kenapa? Dari semua karyawan saya, dia yang paling agile. Dia bisa bergerak dengan cepat, dan itu bukan hanya karena pengalaman dia di sekolah, tapi juga pengalaman dia tinggal di UK yang menurut saya membuat dia tuh lebih agile. Sekarang senang tapi sedih juga, Dila sudah tidak bekerja secara full time di OMG karena dia sekarang di Istana Negara membantu Presiden Jokowi untuk tim komunikasi. Jadi buat saya tutup presentasi saya sore ini dengan mengambil quotes dari Richard Branson. The brave may not live forever, but the cautious do not live at all. Pilihan ada di tangan kita, apakah kita akan mencoba membuat sesuatu yang benar-benar keren, menjadi entrepreneur dan menjadi karyawan juga seperti Dila tadi, bisa keren juga, tapi mungkin saya lebih banyak dari sudut pandang sebagai entrepreneur. Buat saya, kuliah di Inggris, pulang ke Indonesia, you can make something great, you can make something really cool. Jadi summary dari presentasi saya hari ini in English is one, you have to start creating yourself, not always finding yourself. And the second one, creativity is very much needed, even in this very technical environment during I4, because like I said, advanced robot, AI and everything cannot take the creativity from human. And last but not least, be agile. If you have a chance to go to UK and study, don't only go study, but you experience many things really cool in UK. That's what I see as an owner when I employ somebody graduates from UK. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mas Yoris. Something that we should take away with that, however, machine will never replace humans. Okay, so I want to take this conversation to the next presenter. Last but not least, we have Mbak Anantia, co-founder of ThinkWeb, a digital and impact agency, with the message that even in Industry 4.0, we should leave no one behind, and that we should strive for social inclusion and women empowerment. Mbak Anantia, the time is yours.
Halo, terima kasih buat waktunya. Saya Anantia, co-founder dari ThinkWeb. ThinkWeb adalah digital dan teknologi agency. Sebentar ya. ThinkWeb adalah digital dan teknologi agency. Kita berdiri dari tahun 2007. Dan selain aktif di ThinkWeb, saya juga fokus pada pemberdayaan perempuan, terutama di bidang digital. Dan baru-baru ini, tahun lalu tepatnya, Thinkweb baru saja merilis inisiatif khusus buat perempuan dan teknologi dengan judul Thinkweb, Think Women. Kali ini saya akan sharing soal opportunity dan bagaimana kita melihat kesempatan ini untuk bisa progressing, terutama di era industri 4.0. Pada dasarnya, industri 4.0 ini merubah banyak sekali hal dasar dalam menjalankan bisnis. Dan menurut saya, salah satu keywords utamanya adalah soal efektivitas, di mana biasanya perusahaan yang kemudian mengadopsi industri 4.0 itu mengharapkan proses produksinya menjadi lebih cepat, lebih baik, dan biasanya juga lebih efektif dalam hal sumber daya, baik sumber daya finansial dan sumber daya manusia. Gitu. Nah, dari hal itu, yang biasanya menjadi pertanyaan besar bagi semua orang adalah apa yang akan terjadi bagi saya, gitu ya, bagi pekerja yang ada di dalam industri tersebut. Tadi sudah banyak disinggung bahwa teknologi atau industri 4.0 banyak menggantikan pekerjaan, tapi juga ternyata banyak melahirkan tipe-tipe pekerjaan baru. Gitu. Kalau kita lihat di sini, ini saya ambil salah satu contohnya dari Thinkweb sendiri. Jadi di Thinkweb, menariknya adalah kita itu punya, saya bilangnya fragmentasi tipe pekerjaan baru. Jadi tipe-tipe pekerjaan yang sebelumnya nggak ada. Jadi Thinkweb sudah berdiri dari tahun 2007 dan semakin berkembangnya tahun, tipe pekerjaannya itu semakin berbeda gitu. Ini misalnya saja, 2 tahun lalu kita mulai punya yang namanya bot trainer. Jadi orang yang khusus hanya training robot untuk dia bisa kemudian berdiskusi. Jadi ini chatbot gitu ya. Kemudian ada juga orang yang khusus memang hanya untuk mempelajari user interface dan user experience untuk solusi-solusi digital yang kita buat. Kemudian ada juga soal conversion optimizer gitu. Jadi untuk semua iklan atau semua aktiviti yang kita lakukan, konversinya bagaimana. Dan banyak sekali tipe-tipe pekerjaan baru yang seperti tadi sudah disampaikan oleh beberapa speaker sebelum saya, ternyata butuh skill baru. Dan skillnya ini kita bisa bilang adalah high skill worker gitu. Nah, tipe pekerjaan yang muncul, kemudian juga saya bisa beralih ke, ini menarik karena ada yang namanya gig economy. Jadi gig economy itu relate juga dengan yang tadi saya bilang tentang fragmentasi pekerjaan. Jadi pekerjaan-pekerjaan makin fokus dan makin kecil-kecil dan bisa di breakdown. Gitu. Gigs economy ini tumbuh salah satunya akibat banyaknya aplikasi atau kemampuan kita untuk terhubung satu sama lain melalui perangkat digital. Gitu. Di Thinkweb sendiri, teknologi ini memungkinkan kita membuat kondisi baru di mana kita fleksibel, bisa mengambil tipe-tipe pekerjaan tertentu dan bisa dikerjakan sebenarnya dimanapun. Kunci dari gig economy atau misalnya pekerjaan yang kita bilang tadi fragmentasi atau segmented adalah adanya project management yang bagus, kemudian adanya data sharing point. Jadi kalau project management itu misalnya kalau di Thinkweb kita pakainya Trello atau Basecamp, atau misalnya data sharing kita pakai Google Drive misalnya, atau juga online communications, baik video conference seperti sekarang kita pakai Zoom, atau kita pakai WhatsApp, atau kita pakai Slack misalnya kalau di kantor kami gitu. Ini yang kemudian memang masuk ke dalam gig ekonominya sendiri. Jadi kalau kita kenal di dunia, gig ekonomi itu memungkinkan orang untuk kemudian mengambil pekerjaan-pekerjaan tanpa dia harus berada di actual office gitu. Ini salah satu contohnya, di Indonesia ataupun di luar negeri banyak sekali website-website atau platform yang memang juga memberikan kesempatan untuk orang bisa mengambil bentukan pekerjaan-pekerjaan skilled yang lebih kecil-kecil gitu ya. Jadi kalau di Indonesia contohnya ada 1000 Lancer, atau kalau di luar tuh ada Fiverr, ada Flex Jobs gitu. Nah dari sini bisa dilihat bahwa kesempatan ketika kita bilang soal industri 4.0 bukan saja perusahaannya yang mengalami pertumbuhan, tapi juga kesempatannya semakin besar. Nah, ini adalah kesempatan pekerjaannya, tapi gimana dengan skill-nya? selain juga berkuliah, ini ada beberapa skill yang memang juga ditawarkan oleh platform-platform pemberi skills gitu ya. Ada university yang bekerja dengan platform seperti ini untuk memberikan mata pelajaran atau skill-skill khusus yang kira-kira akan dibutuhkan. Ini contohnya punyanya mau belajar apa. Jadi misalnya dari IT, data analysis, lain-lain, ada wirausaha dan lain-lain. Ada juga platform yang bekerja dengan lembaga pelatihan ataupun perusahaan untuk menghadirkan program-program yang memang kira-kira dibutuhkan di masa sekarang dan masa yang akan datang terkait dengan industri 4.0 gitu. Nah, karena tadi saya sempat brought up sedikit soal passion saya untuk mendukung para perempuan untuk masuk ke dalam industri 4.0 dan juga masuk ke dalam STEM. Ini ada beberapa contoh perempuan yang memang sudah berkontribusi dalam STEM world atau dalam teknologi dan industri teknologi base. Ada Mbak Sylvia Halim, dia lulusan insinyur teknik dan menjadi direktur konstruksi dari MRT. Dan ada Mbak Francisca dan Alamanda, dua-duanya adalah lulusan teknologi informasi. Mbak Francisca mendirikan Prelo. Prelo ini adalah platform untuk menjual pre-loved items. Dan kemudian Alamanda tadinya bekerja jadi VP produk di Gojek, kemudian dia resign dan membuat coding school sendiri. Gitu. Nah, di sini saya juga mau ngajakin sebenarnya semakin banyak teman-teman perempuan untuk memang berkontribusi gitu di dalam era industri 4.0 dan juga future industri gitu. Nah, sebelum kita masuk ke dalam future industry ini, kemarin tuh kita sempat bikin research. Research ini itu menariknya adalah, ini research-nya ke teman-teman perempuan. Ini ada 2 buah research. Research pertama dilakukan oleh Girls in Tech Indonesia. Ini tahun 2017 akhir. Itu kita dapat bahwa ternyata salah satu concern terbesar yang dimiliki oleh teman-teman perempuan di luar sana adalah 93% tuh ingin mendapatkan knowledge lebih. Jadi ingin mendapatkan practical knowledge, terutama ini kita pertanyaannya ke perempuan-perempuan yang punya bisnis dengan teknologi ke lab gitu. Jadi kita tanya ke mereka, mereka ternyata kebanyakan maunya knowledge, peningkatan knowledge. Dan yang berikutnya yang paling tinggi juga adalah mereka sangat membutuhkan networking days gitu.
Mohon maaf, 1
ya.
menit.
Oke. Berikutnya ini ada studi terbaru di tahun 2020 dibuat oleh teman-teman di Women Works. Ternyata dari tahun 2017 sampai 2020 itu sebenarnya problem-nya kurang lebih sama. Jadi ada soal information, ingin mendapatkan knowledge lebih, dan soal meaningful opportunities ini sebenarnya sama dengan networking, dan juga soal confidence, kalau mereka ditambah dengan confidence. Nah, dari sana, kalau dari saya, itu mau share sedikit bahwa sekarang banyak sekali community-community yang sebenarnya bisa diikuti. Salah satunya Girls in Tech. Girls in Tech ini kita fokus di university student dan juga first jobber, jadi materi-materi yang disampaikan itu banyak yang seputar short course, ada soal diskusi, ada soal ketemuan sebulan ada sekali, kayak gitu-gitu. Atau bisa ikut Society of Women Engineers misalnya, ini khusus untuk perempuan-perempuan yang memang tertarik dengan engineering base atau STEM in general. Dan kemudian ini satu program punya Think Woman, kita juga mendukung soal perempuan, dan juga ada Generation Girls, ini khusus untuk perempuan usia SMP dan SMA. Nah, saya mau kenalin sama, ini terakhir, I promise, ini saya mau kenalin sama Michelle. Michelle ini pernah ikutan Girls Generation ID, dan sebenarnya saya pernah ketemu sama Michelle itu dari tahun 2017. Kebetulan dia ikut program Girls in Tech Indonesia juga, waktu itu 2017 sama ibunya. Terus menariknya, Michelle ini datang ke saya untuk kemudian bilang bahwa, Mbak, Kak, aku mau magang di Think Web, dia bilang gitu. Terus kita bilang, oh boleh, ikut aja, karena waktu itu in my head she was already university student atau already university student. Jadi ketika dia masuk, ternyata saya baru tahu bahwa dia itu masih kelas 1 SMA waktu itu. Gitu. Jadi dari dia magang selama 6 months gitu. Dan menariknya adalah dari dia magang, dia kemudian bikin memberanikan diri untuk kemudian membuat ini self love warrior gitu. Jadi dia belajar soal digital marketing di Thinkpad dan akhirnya dia membuat ini self love warrior. Sampai sekarang udah ada 9 ribuan orang yang ikut dan dia aplikasikan semua yang dia pelajari dan kolaborasi dengan banyak orang gitu. Nah dari Michelle ini, what I personally learn dan mungkin teman-teman juga bisa belajar adalah Michelle ini eager untuk learning something new, kemudian nggak shy untuk nanya soal opportunity dan ngambil opportunity-nya. Terus dia selalu dalam learning mode, jadi selalu mau tahu, selalu belajar, dan dia eager to collaborate. Nah, in terms of opportunity dan juga menyongsong future jobs, kalau dari saya, this is the last part, moving forward, remember the past, sama we have to embrace the future. Dari saya sekian, semoga memberikan insight tambahan.
Terima kasih banyak Mbak Nantia. We are almost running out of time, so I want to ask one key question to all participants, and the question is this: if you have to leave the participants with one important piece of advice for them to not just to survive, but to thrive in Industry 4.0, what would be your most important piece of advice? Let's start with either Dr. Carl or Eric.
So I guess thanks for putting me up first on that one. I think I would say that try and do something that you're passionate about. It's something I always say to my students when they're looking at their final year projects and things like that. You know, I always ask them, what do you do in your spare time? What do you really enjoy? What are your hobbies? And if you can find something that you're really engaged with, then focus in on that. And generally, then you understand the issues and problems related to that. And then you can then start to look at how Industry 4 technologies can actually support and change things and change things for the better. So yeah, find something that you're passionate about and then see how you can change that.
Okay, thank you, Carl. Let's move on to Imran. What's your most important piece of advice?
I think the thing about Industry 4.0 is that it can be applied to many, many different areas. So for example, if you think about it, nowadays there are more and more artists that are using technology in order to create artworks, right? And so it's really about mastering your own field, and then thinking about looking at the technology that is available out there and asking yourself, how do I apply this technology that I see out there to the work that I do, right? Because yeah, nowadays, the technology, there are so many different applications. So I think you need to master your own field and then look at technology that's available and then think about how these can be integrated.
That's beautifully said. Thank you, Imran. And Mas Yoris, what's your one important piece of advice?
Yeah, for me, I think this is the best era for everyone. Like everyone knows, I4 taking so much job, but it's like more to the clerical things. So we can maximize this era by start creating ourselves, do what you love, like passion. I call it ikigai because we have to answer 4 questions. So enjoy the ride. We never know. Learn from the past, but yeah, let's do the best for the next future.
Thanks, Mas Yoris. Pak Paul, what would be your most important piece of advice to thrive in this era?
Yeah, I think about similar with the others. I think one is you need to very serious about passion. Don't worry about even if someone say that kind of career will not make you rich or will not bring you money. Don't worry. Just pursue your passion, and then don't believe in what others say. I mean, you believe in data, you believe in statistics. I mean, if you can look from the internet. So meaning the answer is not the right answer is not the most correct answer. The right answer is what the most people think is the right answer. So you should believe in the data and statistic rather than in the other people say. But you just believe in yourself and do what is you're passionate about.
Thank you, Pak Paul. And last but not least, Mbak Nantia,
Okay, for me, it's about be open to all possibilities, and stay curious, because curiosity will get you far. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much to all speakers, and for all of you who have been watching this. We have around 200 participants, so we are going to send you the presentations and also upload this webinar in our YouTube channel. So keep on following our Instagram at @IDBritish for more updates. Thank you so much, Mas Yoris, Pak Paul, Mbak Anantia, Eric, Carl, Imran, and to all participants. Selamat berbuka puasa. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Terima kasih.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.